Appears somebody in the TCG seems to be believing in heraldic cards. You guys smash the link, grab that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. So how is Heraldic and Friends doing? After you guys leave a comment down below, and one of you walk away with the booster pack as per usual. So the current state of Leo, after EX kind of got blown up, which was kind of some of the major combo potential that this engine really kind of needed to clutch onto to kind of, be sticking around and doing well. It appears, $4 or $5 is about where you're going to be looking at for this currently, which is not really too much on the grand scheme of things. You had some sales on 1/1. It's not like this card's turning over every day, but you have enough movements out here on that at least to, look at it. The rest of the Heraldic Beast main deck monsters, you don't care about these. They have some cool interactions, yes, but it's nothing too major. And then of course, Heraldry Patriarch out here, good old number 18, the piece that kind of makes things going, it's still 45 cents. Sure, you're touching $1 at the end of this. You're not going too crazy. So I just wanted to make sure everybody's kind of aware of what's going on in that department. And then you have the Advanced Heraldry Art, good old number 20. Remember, this is not once per turn. This is from the era of good cards, because you can activate multiple of these. And, Heraldry Reborn. This is another one to keep an eye on out here. Yeah, these are nothing. So everything in the Heraldic Beast deck, minus good old Heraldry Beast himself, has gone up in price. But to be fair, to kind of look at the engine and try to decide, which way do I want to go down the ratio tree, what's going to be the most optimized path for me, that's going to be a decision you're going to have to decide that you want to do. I don't even think that, besides the Rise Ol build, I don't see a way to really play this stuff, to be honest. Worm cards. First of all, you got Needleworm and this. It's not what we're here for. We're also not here for Worm. What we are here for is the current state of dual terminal worm cards in general. Worm King, this thing's already like $9, by the way. Also, fun fact, that wicked Worm Beast is $13. Worm Yoggins actually have value. These dual terminal versions, these are a lot of money, man. These things are already $7 to $8. Might be a little bit too late on the worm hype, actually. My Snotball, good old, these have already gone up. That's really bad. Yeah, these are already hitting $10 a piece. I knew people believed in worms for older formats, but that's a little bit ridiculous, seeing that turnaround just on those. Worm Zero already, 20 listings. 2 or more reptile worm monsters. I'm always going to love that summoning condition on that. I'm hoping that we do get some sort of retrain with this year, but these are like $4 to $5 for the most part. What about the other worm stuff? You have an entire plethora, or an entire section of worm stuff. The Worm Queen, $2. Worm King Super Rare from Storm of Ragnarok. Those are like 50 cents. Okay, that's interesting. Worm Victory. These are very cheap. All the bad worms have low quantities as well. I didn't really realize how Worm Carderos, 50 cents. Carderos was cool when he could resolve. Wow, the Hidden Arsenal 3 worms. Squeeze me here. These are, you're really looking at something for like 50 cents. That's not necessarily a lot, but the fact that, it appears we have movements on those is kind of interesting, to say the least. Oh yeah, Worm Warlord. Yeah, we're getting down to the bad worm stuff now. So keep an eye on the worm stuff. It is on my bingo sheet for this year, and I'm going to continue to say that out loud for people that, aren't hearing it in the back. We are in Year of the Reptile now, and, we have a dual terminal theme coming up here, which we should probably follow the same patterns we did last year. I'm expecting worms to be on that list. Speaking of interesting stuff, evidently the Ragnarok Evil Seed has been moving. $41 currently on these things, which is... It doesn't look like it's too necessarily bad, but it's like when you see the ramp up to like 50, on up to 55, on up to 68, and then you're hitting $70 out here. It just takes somebody coming through buying 2 of these and you're automatically at $50. That's a little bit of a problem. And I do kind of agree that that's a little bit ridiculous. The Stag Beetle, wow, this thing is $16. Meanwhile, you've got the Bloom out here for 15, 16 bucks. And the Secret Rare Seeds, these are hitting tens. So, like, you have value. Secret Blooms, these also like $4 or $5. Yeah, these are hitting the $4 to $5 mark as well. So, generally across the board, you got the movements. Wow, this is an ultra rare actually worth money. Wow, Stag Sovereign's actually worth like $3. Okay. Nightmare Throne. You know, the current state of Nightmare Throne is actually hilarious. You know, for a card that literally saved you, Bell, put it on the map. We've kind of spun around out here a little bit. A little bit more people have kind of been like, you know, I don't really like the state we're in. Yeah, I mean, the market has pushed this card down to $14, which, I mean, it's better than where they were. I mean, remember, these things were hitting 20 plus at one point. I guess just be aware, in the current wellspring that we are dealing with, Bell, right now, the deck is still a top competitor. All right, you unfortunately, you can't turn your brain off and do some of the combos now. I think that was the biggest thing that Konami was trying to fix with the last limitations during the last list was they want you to think when you start going down these combo lines. Kyles. Okay, so first of all, this is the most Kyles I've ever seen on the market, period, which is amazing. In terms of your sales data, I mean, your last one sold, actually your last three sold back on 12/19 at $645. As of today, I see we have one listed here for 500, a French for 5, another French for 5. What is it? Kyles El Marni Monarch. Okay, Hombres. Okay. It looks like you're still, honestly, floating about the $500 range. I feel like not really much has changed in the Ultimate Kyles department. But you got to remember, Konami made the QCR. Konami making that slightly easier to get version made people go, why am I spending this brain dead money on this car when it's just easier to go pick up the other version? Yeah, I know. A strange concept, right? Guardian Slime. You know, this is actually kind of wild. So, since we saw the offset of value, Konami went, hey, we're going to, you know, bring down the value of the rest of the stuff for the Egyptian God stuff. Because remember, there was a time where Egyptian God Slime was the expensive card that you had to spend all the money on. Guess what has not had a reprint in a while? And it's this little guy right here. As of filming this, it looks like we are starting to head on up to an $18 price tag across the board. I love your top end here being $33, but, you know, getting that few extra dollars. You haven't had any sales in the last couple of days, but, I mean, that's fine. The fact that some of these $30 ones have actually moved through the network is quite impressive, actually. Primite Roar. While this doesn't look like a real major movement out here, and I think you can thank a lot of the Lordly Load supporters out here for being the ones pushing that card instead of the cards around it. But, I mean, this card was what, like 10 cents? You've doubled on up to the 75-cent mark down here. And of course, I mean, Drill Beam has also been another card of contention to look at in terms of your secondary market as well. You know, you've got major movements still in this thing as well. I love your top end being $10, but no, this very repeatedly is going to be a $4 to $5 card for most of its life. And I don't really see much of a change with that. Same thing out here with the little Pennyston Department, Ryuji Rising. A lot of the SRs from crossover breakers, and we've seen this already, they have some sort of kind of stupid little price tag associated with them because they were kind of hard to pull. I don't necessarily hate the idea of what Konami did with, you know, making some of these cards available in super rare only. It was a cool little gimmick, but it's one of those things that's kind of led us to this discussion now of, you know, do I need to rush out and pick these up? I mean, this is the highest rarity currently. Konami could very easily print another higher rarity, yes, for sure. But with what we're dealing with right now, I don't see it. Also, Walls of the Imperial Tomb. I don't know why people are losing their minds over this. Yes, Walls of the Imperial Tomb has been going up in money. It's because it was only printed as a super rare. All right. And to everybody else that spent their money on, you know, the Imseti stuff, they're like, oh, crap, you know, I need a Walls of the Imperial Tomb because it acts as the extra field spell. Yeah, Konami did you a favor by printing this as a super rare. And yes, I'm sorry they're not 25 cents, but I mean, $2, $3 for a 1, 2. Hey, if you're going for 3, sure. But like, it's not going to do you any bad here. So that is today's market. A little bit of a simpler time out here, but that's fine. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here in a day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.